black-eyed peas and rice, brown. Raw style with a little Trini. Lot of Trini. There's pumpkin in there, thyme. Didn't have coconut milk this time, but
you make your rice with coconut milk?
Well, usually peas and rice. They use coconut milk. You know, some people use it. Then I made some mushroom sauce to go with the shrimp that we have to cook. This is green seasoning. I didn't bring a lot, but you can use it on anything. And this is my mixture of like green seasoning with a little smoky chipotle and some other peppers, right? So I don't think it's spicy. And then we have shrimp to cook.
Okay.
Some it's got a little jerk seasoning.
Oh, okay. So you already see, you don't have to peel them or anything like that.
I peeled some, but some we're gonna leave because they're already deveined. And they're already, and I've deveined and cleaned, took the shells off of some. But some others we're gonna leave and cook in the shell, right? Because we're just pan searing, so it's a quick cook. And then the ones, we're gonna put some of that in this mushroom sauce, all right? So
let me see.
What do you think?
Oh my gosh, that is delicious. Now you made that from your...
And then my mother, that's part of Trinidadian and many Caribbean, whether it's Spanish speaking or French and English speaking, they make, and I think it's out of an African tradition, what we call green seasoning. I think in sofrito is what they make.
Oh, right.
So this here has scallion, garlic, onion, pimiento pepper, and celery. And it's the basis for all seasonings. Right? So you can use it, fish, meat, chicken, anything you want to season and let it marinate and then you add your other
Well, how do you prepare? One day you're gonna come and then make that here, but how are all those, is it cooked or is it something that's blended?
No, it's you just get the fresh. It must be fresh. And you're putting it in a blender and then they put it in a bottle, so every time you need to season,
you scoop out some.
You scoop out some, right? And so
that's what I did with my seasoned salt once. I made seasoned salt from scratch.
Exactly, like that. So you can make your own spice blends. Some of them that you have today. And then you can turn on your stove. It's not going to take very long to cook. Yeah. And the reason why I left some in the shell is because the juices are going to soak in.
Right.
And so it won't like get dry, get that rubbery. All right, so let me get out my shelled ones first because I'm going to put that in. And then we're going to quickly turn it. This is Argentinian red shrimp. I got this from my cousin in Queens, like on the borderline. They have these, I guess, fishermen. It's way down in Long Island that they come from, and they sell on the side of on the highway for years and years.
Right.
See?
And this is the ones with the shell that you're doing right now. Right. No oil in the pan.
No, I put some oil in here when I was seasoning it, just a little. So it's gonna be, you want it to be a little bit dry. You don't need to fry it. Because we're not really frying it, we're more like searing it. Okay. It's starting to curl.
Yeah, it don't take much. Shrimp does not take much. Fish in general doesn't take long. Yeah. Wow.
I don't want to leave it too long because I want you to, I don't want it to get that light. So as soon as it curls, I can see here, and then it's going to continue to cook once you take it out the heat, right?
If the heat is still in it.
Yeah, so it's going to continue to cook. So 1 more minute, and then I'm going to get in these, which will cook even faster.
Right.
And we may not even need that pot, because what I'm going to do is put some of them, in. So now I'm gonna put in these, the ones that I've already deveined, and these are gonna cook really very quickly.
And what kind of shrimp are these?
Argentinian red shrimp, and they're really like large. Well, they look large with the shells on. Once the shells come off, they kind of little bit.
Well, but they're not little shrimp that you put in a salad.
No. And they tell you don't overcrowd the pot, but I think in this case it's gonna be fine. And what we're gonna do is take some of that same gravy and make, you know, I've already put mushrooms, you know, I use like these dried
What kind of mushroom?
They're this mixture of gourmet mushrooms that you soak, and then you know, rinse it off, and then you let it soak so they get rehydrated, but they also give all this mushroom flavor, all the juices.
What you all gotta know is that Roz is a pescatarian. You don't eat any chicken or meat, but you do eat fish.
Yeah, I do eat fish. I have some other kinds of seafood. See how it's curling? So they can't stay much longer, just probably a minute more. Less than a minute, really. As soon as I turn it over, that's the crusty. You see it? Love it. And then we don't want it to get. So I'm taking it out now because some of it is already.
Can it be grilled?
This is like a grilling, because you notice we didn't put any oil in the pot or anything like that, right? And I'm taking them out before they get any more. We don't want them to overcook. All right, now I'm gonna turn down the heat, right? And then I'm gonna put some of our sauce in, right? So I'm gonna put that in, and I'm gonna just put a little, let it stir up a little bit. Get a little bit of water, and then we're gonna pour that in, and smell that mushroom gravy.
Oh my goodness!
I hope.
Oh wow!
So in here is some scallion and ginger, because ginger and scallion goes well with seafood. Fresh mushrooms, or rehydrated mushrooms, I should say. And then we're just gonna let that simmer a bit. And then we're gonna put some of our shrimp back in there. And so once that's in, you know, you're ready for the meal. But we're gonna let it come to a nice simmer to make sure, you know, it melts.
Right.
You may even want to put a little butter in there. I already put butter in there. A little bit of butter if you use butter. You know, to just make it all, you know, smooth, bring everything together.
Oh wow. Now, what would you call this? Would you say it's an Asian fusion with a Caribbean tip on it, or this is what?
This is
this is Roz making stuff up.
This is Roz, because there's so many different I don't know, flavors. I just experiment with spices and seasonings and tastes. You know, like if it's too hot, you know, you may put something like a little bit, maybe honey, a little agave, cool, you know, like that kind of thing.
What would you say is the fish from Trinidad that is popular? I know that when I was in Barbados, it was flying fish or red snapper. Is it some of the same?
Well, more like there's red snapper, kingfish, cavalli, carrot, which is similar. I forgot the equivalent names here. But that is probably the kingfish.
But all those fishes you can find here.
You can find a lot of the fish here. They call it by other names. Like, I forgot what they call cavalli or carrot. It's maybe baby king, something like that. And it's like baby king, you know, to the people who are from that part of the world. They're like, you mean carrot? You know. So now we're gonna taste. So let's have a little tasting. Oh, I'm gonna get it. I would take it off. So let's put the ones in with the shells first, right? Because, you know, it's just like warming this up and turning it down very low.
Just as low as it,
Yeah. So we just like letting it like mesh in here. So if you wanted just to have shrimp, to just like, I'm chilling with my shrimp. You know, and you just want to like, just have a little snack and eat it just to shell it. You know, take it off the shell, or you can have it with your meal. But you know, my brother, one time, you know, I did this, and he's like, why can't you take the shell off? I said, well, it slowed you down from eating the whole pot, didn't it?
So who in the family, I know you come from a cooking family, but who in the family out of your siblings does the most cooking? Is it you, your brothers? Which
Well,
are the
I
two
think my
brothers?
brother cooks, but he lives in Maryland, so he cooks. But I think probably me, because I live, away from them. But my other brother, both of them will cook if they have to. My mom, because one of them lives with my mother, of course, he cooks. But since she's getting older, I'm not interested in cooking that often. Surprisingly, she'll say, if you want, you could bring home something.
That's unusual for a Caribbean parent.
So you can tell.
Yeah.
And that doesn't mean she's going to eat it. She can. She'll just say, bring home something,
Lord have mercy, that's too funny.
Yeah,
that's
she may not eat it, And so that's it.
Floyd's mother, who is Jamaican, is probably very similar.
Yeah. She may eat sometimes like, chicken, that kind of thing. So that's it, Cassandra. That's your meal.
That's cooked?
That's cooked. It's ready.
I have this meal, my New Year's day, second day of the year.
So my kale salad, it came from my holistic practitioner, my holistic healer, who is also a cordon bleu chef. So she had this recipe for quilted kale salad, and
it's called wilted or quilted?
Wilted, sorry, kale salad. And basically you're using nutritional yeast, little sea salt, and some apple cider vinegar, and you're letting it, you sprinkle that on the kale and letting it wilt down. Then when it's when it's wilted, you add olive oil, or it's an oil that you put in the fridge.
Oh, I don't know, because I'm at a regular grocery store. They don't.
They have it, but you probably never paid attention to it. So anyway, I'll remember it in a minute. But I use that, and then I put all my other seasonings and spices. I may put candied orange slices.
Really?
There's some cranberry, because it's going to be vinegary, and it's nice.
To need some sweetness.
So if you want a little sweetness, or fresh pomegranate seeds, people add. And you make it your own. You can put some cucumbers, fresh. You don't want it mushed in there, but if you're going to serve it, some fresh.
When you store it, if you do anything like with the cucumbers, you store the cucumbers separate.
Yeah, I would put my cucumbers, even though I found out that, and it is true, cucumbers, I used to put them in the fridge, but it lasts longer on your counter.
No, I didn't realize that.
Yeah, I saw it on one of those Instagram hacks, or one of those, home things.
Right.
I mean, it was really true. It lasts longer.
Oh, no, that I didn't know.
Very much like that. My grandmother was the one who was a little bit more messy. She would clean up after.
Oh, you doing a whole lot. Girl, you could let all of that just, it's fine.
So we're done.